Hi everyone, I'm Carole. So I'm the Senior Marketing Manager for Uber in Quebec. So I'm in charge of Montreal and Quebec City, and I'm sure you'll probably have a lot of questions that might not be totally related to the presentation, but I'd be happy to answer them after the presentation.
And hi, my name is Shawn French. I lead the platform development teams at Shopify, and we'll talk a bit about our integration with UberRUSH.
So yeah, today, I think when I got approached by Charles, that was an interesting topic. I'm used to talking about Uber, but the transportation of people. And today, I think it's important, especially in the debate we're having right now, just to elevate the conversation a bit. It's not taxi versus Uber. Uber is much more than that, and I think I'll show it to you with the two new services like UberRUSH and UberEATS. So it's just making sure people understand what you see right now with UberX is really the tip of the iceberg. Actually, I was talking about it with someone here. We're an application, we're a technological platform. And I guess you people, you get it because that's your daily day, the task. But I'll present to you what we're doing on top of the transportation. So we really, in the way, we're changing the way people are doing commerce. I'm going to show you UberRUSH that is actually running in Chicago, San Francisco, and New York. You might have heard about it. It's like a courier service in a way. And then UberEATS. UberEATS, it's actually a brand new product. We're all very excited about it. We've launched it in Toronto a few months back. It's been very successful. And right now we have the UberEATS options available in many other cities around the world. So I'll start with UberRUSH, and Shawn, you'll interrupt me. So basically, our caption is to really make anything in your city more convenient. We have the value at Uber, and it's really a value on the wall, but we preach by it. We want to celebrate the city. We want to transport people. We want to transport a service to you. We want to make sure you get to know your city better, and you want something, we'll get it to you. So it's really making anything convenient, affordable, because we are really price conscious, and we think it has to be democratic, plus it has to be reliable. That's what we preach by. So going into details, as I said, it's a courier service. It's an on-demand delivery network. So it's actually, I think, very relevant, the integration with Shopify, because we focus mainly on small and medium businesses. So it's a faster network. That's what we do. We deliver within minutes. You don't have to wait. With Uber, it has to be fast. It's cheaper. Price conscious as always. I'm not going to read through everything. You have good eyes. I'm sure you can read through, but you let me know if you have any questions. And reliability is extremely important. That's what we do. When it comes to people's transportation or anything that we operate, it has to be reliable. We have to be your best friend. So you have to, rely on us when there's the weather is crap or you're hungry and it's 10 p.m. We have to be around. That's our mission. And we'll go into the merchant dashboard and explain a little bit the technology behind it, because that's the core of our business. It's seamless for the user, but it has also to be seamless for the merchant. And Shawn, maybe you want to talk us through the different steps of integration.
Thank you, Carole. Yeah, I just want to get up here and talk a bit about why Shopify partnered with Uber, and like you were saying, I definitely think of Uber as not just a transportation company now. They're doing so much, and UberRUSH really shows that. Thank you. So Shopify partnered with Uber. We were a launch partner with UberRUSH, and what it did was we've enabled, right now we're in New York, San Francisco, and Chicago, and we've enabled all of our merchants there the ability to fulfill local deliveries almost with a one-click setup, basically. It's just like setting up a new shipment method in Shopify. You click through and you'll basically enable this great experience for your customers in your city. So imagine now I'm a merchant in Montreal. Hopefully UberRUSH will be in Montreal soon. I'll be able to offer UberRUSH as a shipping rate at checkout to all of my online guests. If they're within the range of a UberRUSH, they'll see the UberRUSH same-day delivery option. They can choose that, and then they'll get a tracking notification that many of you are familiar with if you use the UberRUSH app. On the merchant side, we have a great experience where they'll be notified as well. They'll choose what items to fulfill and basically create the delivery, which will send the courier to their place of business to pick up the package and get it out to their customer within the hour. This is kind of insane, to be honest. Like, we're enabling commerce to happen in a city through a web page, and you'll get whatever it is you're craving within the hour. So it's a really great experience, and I can't wait till it gets to Montreal. I'll hand this back to you.
So, that's going back onto more like less techy interface. So like that's the sleek, like experience that you get when you're a merchant. So, you wanted to have it delivered within minutes. So just like you press your regular button when you request an Uber, that looks pretty much the same. And you have an estimated time of arrival. So same thing. We have an unbeatable value, that's really what we prescribe. So you may ask yourself, is it like a courier by bike or is it like a car? So we have both options available. In New York, the courier bikes is very important, but anywhere else, our partners are really like the UberX drivers that are actually added to the UberRUSH category, so they can go on it. And because they don't make round trips, that's how we get to leverage and have a good price. Real-time tracking, if you're familiar with the Uber app, nothing new under the sun, that's one of our really good strengths. That's how you can track and see where your delivery is coming from, and you can even warn someone, okay, your delivery is on the way, you warn them, and you get the message. So that's pure traceability. We're super transparent on how we do it. How it works. So if you're a merchant, and you'll probably see in the next video, but that's a dashboard that you have and you start dispatching your orders. So you kind of your own logistical manager in a way. And so you can see where the requests are coming from. You track, as I said, what the courier is going through. And then you can notify your client that the order is arriving, which, I think this is a big asset. In most time when you ask a courier to come and deliver a package, you don't know where he's going, you don't know when it's gonna arrive, you don't know if he's not taking a major detour, if it's something really rush. So, and also keep in mind that we make sure that the quality of delivery, in pickup, is gonna be pristine.
So I just want to interrupt there. We've had nothing but great feedback from customers and merchants using this. It's just such a seamless way to get something from one place to another. That, as you said, customers can see where that thing is. Merchants can see it too. They know it's on the way. Anyways, great experience.
So, those are a few examples, and it's just to showcase the variety of business we're operating in. So of course we do operate in the food business because it's kind of a given. Footwear, it can be also farms, farming, product, and we have Eau de la Rose, which is a flower. So it's very natural fit in terms of businesses, but the key point for all of them, it has to be on time. That's all I will say, because you have to make sure that flowers are arriving on time. They're gonna still be fresh. Food, same thing. It has to be in pristine condition when it arrives. So the level of requirement is quite high in terms of quality. I think in the video you can hear one of the very last sentences is we would partner no matter what with Uber, and I'm sure you probably use it. We don't have it here, but when we want to send something out, we request an Uber, and we ask the driver okay, it's a delivery, and it's a fake kind of UberRUSH that we're trying to mimic. But no matter what, we felt the need was really coming from the crowd, and we were okay, we have to figure out something. And I know it wasn't easy in terms of traceability and just the concept of accepting it and having courier by car. So it's at the end of the day, it was really something that been coming from the crowd that we decided to address. So just the last, I think that's the last slide, just to show you the diversity, and you've seen it in video. So we still kept the courier for us, still remains in the spirit. a biker, like in New York City especially, and then we have like our regular like driver partner who are driving on the platform and they want to make an extra income, so they ask like, okay, I'm an UberX driver, can I also be added onto the UberRUSH product? And we'll see later also on the UberEATS product. So now on to UberEATS. So UberEATS is the very last addition to the Uber family. So it's an interesting concept. When you think about food delivery, you usually think of like Chinese, late at night, not very good quality, craving that you want to fulfill. It's like minus 40 outside. You know, it's not the most glamorous experience, and I think like, and some people are in the room, Fresh Meat is doing a very good job at, you know, elevating the quality of standards. And what UberEATS is also plans on doing is really like delivering the best food within minutes to your door. We have two varieties, and maybe you've used it in Toronto or some other places. We have one standalone app, which, you know, it started initially within the regular Uber app. You had an additional menu, which was UberEATS. Now it's a full, like, standalone UberEATS app. And you have two options. Either you go with instant delivery. You have the selection of, you know, like few restaurants, and it's a selected menu. And you have food delivered to you within, you know, like I'll say 10 minutes. But we also have on the app a full-fledged menu with like a lot of different restaurants, and it's gonna be like if you're not as in hurry, and the specialty about it is that we usually try to approach restaurants that wouldn't do delivery. So, for example, you know, one day when we launch in Montreal, I hope we'll have Joe Beef. For example, you know, we're dreaming big. We want to make sure we have all those fancy restaurants on it. You know, every restaurant that you would not be able to have a reservation at, well, we'll make sure we'll have at least one meal or two that you can try on the UberEATS app. So basically, I put the example of Toronto here. It's like, you know, it's really our mission. It's like, ditch the stigma of like delivery food is junk food. No, it can be good food, and that's what we're gonna be doing. So you use the Uber app, and the Uber interface is exactly the same on the standalone app. And you'll see your driver coming your way. Like the traceability is the same thing. You see how many minutes, and then you have a driver that go and gives you the package, and that's it. You have like excellent food. The menu is being renewed every day, so you have different options, and you have for all tastes and all type of diets. And it's, you know, our mission is really to deliver quality food within minutes at your door. So just to show you how successful it was in Canada, it was in the top 5 on the Apple App Store. It's definitely like, it's been like in December the #1 food and drink app in Canada. And since then we have like way more downloads, but I invite you like to try it out, and just to, you know, even if you're not in Toronto yet, just to see like the variety of restaurants we have, it's quite interesting. And hopefully this will be coming to Montreal. We don't know when, but it's a foodie city, so we're pretty aware of it. And that's it. Thank you.
So we'll be taking questions. We'll take 2 to 3 questions. One in the back, I'll come and give you the mic.
When is UberRUSH coming to Montreal?
So as you can see, we have like New York, Chicago, San Francisco, so very large cities. When we get to a certain like critical mass, we can explore different options. Right now, with our regulatory battles that you pretty much everyone is aware of, it's not facilitating our growth. So, you know, when we get to maturity, this is something that I think everyone wants to have. So, yeah.
First off, I think you should get an award for giving a presentation in those shoes and pulling it off seamlessly, because like, look at they're very high heels. Okay. Round of applause. Okay, so I've used UberEATS in Toronto, and excuse my French, it was fucking amazing. So I was completely converted, came back to Montreal, it doesn't exist. So you have big competitors here. There's guys from Fresh Mint. There's Montreal a la carte, which has been around a long time, and a new one that just popped up, Foodoro, in Toronto. I mean, these guys are already doing what Uber is doing really, really well. How are you guys going to still be a market leader when people are, pun intended, eating your lunch?
Well, as we say, you know, like I know the French meat model a bit more, but for us, it's like, and I'm gonna make a big analogy. It's like when we talk about car2go and Uber, for example, some people say, "Oh, but you're competitor." We're like, "No, we're complementary." You know, like, and because I think it's a little bit like easier like to understand, but you know, you go to a bar, you'll probably be going like with car2go. You'll rent a car to go to the bar, and then you'll have too many drinks, so you'll come back with an Uber. So, and that for me will totally be like the same thing for fresh meat, unless you change your business model. But you know, like just the way, like the variety of offers, like the type of menu we'll have, the experience, you know, it's gonna be very complementary. And you know what? The more the merrier. I mean, you've pretty know like we're not against competition at all. We think like, at the end of the day, the more competition you have, the better it is for the consumer. So if we have more player who wants to deliver an excellent and top service, why not? At least if we can ditch away like the bad quality aspect of the delivery, like the food delivery, like that's a win for everyone.
Last question over there.
So I'm very curious, you mentioned the importance of service and of customer satisfaction and of the quality of what you guys are putting up. And I'm very curious because there's a lot of different industries, and some of the items may be about perishable items, other ones may be about confidentiality, like I want to send this, but I want it to be confidential. How do you manage, you know, across such a diverse range of criteria of satisfaction for the customers? How do you standardize that?
To be honest with you, I feel like at the end of the day, we have the same standard. We want a happy customer. Like, we go and we look at every like type of business we're in, and we're like, what is the highest level of demand? What is like the expectation for the client? If we feel like we don't have the support, we don't have the people behind it, understand the product good enough, we will not launch it. So it seems pretty easy to put together the UberRUSH. I know they were like, it was a nightmare to launch that product. So it's more like understanding we as customer, like what do I expect from that? If we don't have the capability, we have like, you know, like a huge support team behind it when it comes to customer response. And if you've used Uber, you probably like had maybe hopefully not so many bad experiences, but you know, we usually like respond quite fast on it, and it's our mission. At the end of the day, if we fail on it, we'll be out of business. So it's a bet we're taking.